everybody, welcome to EthStaker's Community Call number 32. We have Phil from Lodestar here, and we are very excited to welcome him for a special announcement from Lodestar today. From EthStaker, we have Remy, Anvetica, Yorick, Buddha, Nolan, and me, Nix. And from Lodestar here, we have Phil. Phil, do you want to introduce yourself and talk about Lodestar for a second before we get into the announcement?
Of course. Hey, everyone. My name is Phil Ngo. I'm the project manager over at ChainSafe for the Lodestar project. I think you probably would have seen me last time, just very much here to make an announcement for you guys. Lodestar, of course, is the newest Ethereum consensus client written in TypeScript. And I'm happy to be here with all your stakers.
We had another Lodestar community call a couple calls ago where we talked about Lodestar being the latest consensus client to be added to the Launchpad. So Lodestar is the minority client right now, the one that stakers should be switching to if possible. They're just as healthy as the other clients. So Phil, get into it. Why are we here today?
So why we're here is as part of, being the project manager here, I need to help Lodestar think of ways in which we can attain, some meaningful amount of market share in the staker community. I think we've all envisioned that, a 20% spread on each of the consensus clients is probably the most ideal. Of course, we're not there yet. And, we want to contribute. Of course, we already have with the latest or the newest consensus client that we have. And now it's your opportunity to really put this into overdrive for us and really help improve and also build the TypeScript community around Ethereum consensus and Ethereum protocol. So what we have here today is an incentive program. It was really sort of envisioned when we had a team retreat together in which we were thinking of ways to incentivize people to basically try running Lodestar in their setups. And obviously, client stickiness is a huge problem. We've seen that, of course, and with the whole client diversity narrative, we were able to, push people to switch from Prism over to other clients, but I guess we're seeing most of them switch over to Lighthouse now. So, we're doing some great work there, but there are, 5 consensus clients in total. So this is our take on how we think we can get some solo stakers, which in my opinion is probably the most important stakers in the ecosystem, to at least try Lodestar in their setup. And we have a bit of an incentivization or what we call our Lodestar user incentive program to give people a little bit of a push to try Lodestar and try proposing blocks with it, which we've been doing ever since November 2021, actually. But, there's obviously that buffer time in which, people need to gain that sort of production level trust with clients, and we feel we're there, so it's time.
Nice. So you have been Lodestar has been proposing blocks since November 2021. They have worked out their kinks. They have been through the ringer on whatever bugs or issues they need to work out, and so now they are starting an incentive program to get people on because all of the bugs have been worked out. And so, what impact do you foresee this having on the? Can you actually do a quick blurb on why it's so important to have client diversity in the ecosystem?
Yeah, of course. So client diversity is basically what contributes to the resilience of Ethereum. As we've seen previously in the Shanghai attacks and stuff like that, specific clients are prone to issues, and having specific teams burden or shoulder all of that responsibility is not great for ensuring the liveness of Ethereum. And of course, all of our clients are written in different languages, so we have some resilience here for being able to continue with finalizing the chain, even if one of our clients drops out of the mix because of some critical consensus bug of some sort or whatever it may be. So we're adding TypeScript now into the mix and introducing a bunch of a new way for people to get involved in Ethereum protocol, especially if you know JavaScript.
Awesome. So how does this program work?
Yeah. So there's basically a prize pool of 20,000 USD. And what we're planning to do here is we are going to distribute this USD equally between eligible validators on the network that propose a block through Lodestar. So we've added, some eligibility requirements to really minimize the civil attacks that could happen on this program, to also remove the larger staking services and platforms off of there, because we feel that solo stakers are some of the most important people on the network validating. And we want to target these people to basically try Lodestar with their setup and be able to have either a backup or even run us as like your primary client, so that you at least have an idea as to how it works. And our goal here is obviously to have some sort of a stickiness with ETH stakers, where they'll continue running Lodestar after this program. But the goal here is really to get people to try it out. And obviously with that, it will hopefully, create a more resilient client and better client for everyone.
Far be it from me to actually deter anything that goes primarily to solo stakers, but what is the thought process behind primarily offering this to solo stakers rather than some of the big staking exchanges or protocols? Wouldn't you want them to also be switching to Lodestar?
Yeah, so we've actually been working with some other large node operators, including the ones in the Lido sets, to help sort out the problems that we currently have, which prevent larger stakers from actually being able to use Lodestar in their setups. So these problems are primarily for people who are running a large amount of keys, in which, like, right now we haven't fully resolved those problems, and they have very specific requests that need to be met for us to get integrated in their setups. So the way that we've approached Lodestar is, like, we've always targeted, the solo stakers, and we've always catered to doing or prioritizing things that would make solo stakers able to use Lodestar, and that was our first priority. So that's why we went that route.
Cool. And how are you identifying Lodestar validators that are running Lodestar?
Yeah, so in the blog post that we actually just released on the ChainSafe blog, all of the information is there, but I'll go through it in a very basic TLDR kind of way. So the way that we're sort of ensuring that we reduce the sort of ineligible validators and people who are whales or run large staking nodes is to, first of all, when you're proposing a block, we all understand there's a graffiti portion of it in which you can identify what client you're running. So some people do this, some people don't. But for our purposes, like, to identify, at least if you're proposing with Lodestar, potentially, you have a Lodestar graffiti on the blocks that you propose. So that must be there as part of the eligibility. We have a crawler that Sigma Prime has developed called Blockprint, which is used in like clientdiversity.org already, to basically screen out blocks that are likely not actually proposed by a specific client. So you can't really, this is done so that we can prevent people from gaming the graffiti, because if you just put Lodestar on there on a lighthouse proposed block, we want to be able to screen for that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it'll go through that. Yeah, and then one of the important things as well is to identify, of course, the deposit address, the address you use to deposit your 32 ETH into the Beacon chain. So that is something that will be hard to game, especially if you've already started as a staker. Because that's already been done in the past. And of course, we're looking for uniqueness in your deposit address to make sure you're not actually a whale, that you are, depositing hundreds of validators. So that would make you ineligible. So the fine print is in the blog post, but basically if you've done more than 10 deposits with that specific address, you're ineligible for this program.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are
Sorry, go ahead.
Rocketpool validators eligible?
Yes. So Rocketpool, we don't consider as like a large staking platform operator because it's obviously comprised of a lot of solo stakers. So the way that it works for Rocketpool is basically when you're depositing into, I guess, like your mini pool contract at Rocketpool, the address you use to deposit into that contract is what will be considered as your deposit address. Because the mechanics are slightly different because you're interacting with the Rocketpool contract instead of the actual ETH2 deposit contract. So those people are eligible. Of course, if we see that you're you have more than 20 mini pool contracts that your deposit address has been going to, you're obviously also considered a whale in that sense too. So we will be screening for that.
I love this. So you're targeting solo stakers who have between 1 and 10 solo staking validators or 1 in 20 mini pools. I
Yes,
love that this
exactly.
is who it's incentivizing.
Yeah, we really want, like, for us, it's numbers. Like, we want more people to try Lodestar, and I think we'll be able to do it this way, targeting like solo stakers. Sorry, Buddha.
I was just about to ask, like, do they just need to run the beacon node or the whole set, like validator client and beacon nodes?
You'll need to run both the beacon node and the validator client to be eligible.
Yeah, I think
So
like the Sigma Prime tool, does it track by beacon node or validator client?
Yeah, so it actually analyzes the proposed block. I am not the best person to ask about like the mechanics of how they analyze like the mechanics of how they include attestations and how they pack the block. That would be, probably a better question for Michael, who maintains it. But we have full confidence that that is able to screen out, people who are not using the Lodestar beacon node and validator client for proposing.
Yeah, I'm not going to feed cheaters, but I think it's still nice for them to try either way. Like even if they just run the beacon node, like the Lodestar beacon node with a different validator client.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we would love to get to is having that interoperability. I know some larger node operators are running this, like, different clients, beacon nodes with their validator clients. And this is only going to get better, especially with like DVTs and stuff like that. So
really quickly for conciseness, let me know if I miss anything. The operators that are eligible for this need to be running Lodestar as a consensus client. They need to set their graffiti to some graffiti that you are going to post on like Discord or somewhere.
no, it just needs to have Lodestar in it. So if you actually
Okay.
don't set a graffiti on your validator client, it will default propose a block with Lodestar dash the version / commit. So that is an eligible block.
Okay, so it's any node operator who's running between 1 and 10 solo validators, 1 and 20 mini pools, has Lodestar as a consensus client and has Lodestar in their graffiti.
Correct. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, and as long as you meet that, generally, your deposit address should fit the eligibility rules, and then of course your unique fee recipient will be looking at that as well, because that's where we're going to be sending your prize if you're eligible.
Cool. Do you guys have any measures for success for this program?
Our measure of success, like the most important thing, is seeing how many people are actually eligible. We want to see the impact that we've made on the solo staking community. And obviously, like other metrics, sort of like we'd love to see more people in our Discord asking questions, or if they run into any issues, we'd love to be there to help them. So like just increasing the overall usage and community around Lodestar as well. The goal here is to get people to try Lodestar, and the more people that we can get to do that, the better.
Nice. And how long does this program last?
So this program basically starts today. and will last for 5 months. And how we came to that number was we basically took the validator set currently on mainnet, and then we can figure out, how many blocks are proposed every month. And then we basically take that number, and then we figure out, okay, what is the average time that is sort of required for a validator to propose one block. And then we took the average, we multiplied it by 2, and that is our eligible period. So hopefully, based on math, we hope that, you get a chance and you're not a super unlucky validator that wasn't able to propose a block within 5 months after running Lodestar. So the suggestion is the faster you can set up Lodestar, because you don't know when you can get a block to propose. So it'll just widen your chances.
And people are definitely gonna be wondering this. Do you have any like calculations or estimates on how many, like if a certain number of, if 100 validators or 1,000 validators join this program, how much like each of them would get when they did propose a block with Lodestar on there?
Yeah, so I actually did up a pretty simple table on that ChainSafe blog post. And basically what it comes down to is however many unique eligible validators there are will determine how much of the distribution you'll get. So we obviously don't know that until the 5 months is over and we do the analysis. But for example, if there's only 10, your prize could potentially be $2,000 each. At 400, it'll go down to $50 each. But I think that's part of the fun of it as well. I guess there's a bit of a disincentive to spread this program around to people. But that was our only worry. But it's at the end of the day, it's still something, and we just hope it's large enough for us to get people to try it, but also maybe not so large that you only end up with $20 in the end. But we won't know that, right? So
so how are the rewards paid out?
yeah, so basically when you propose a block, you have to set something called a fee recipient. So that's generally where your execution rewards are going currently. So that includes your priority fees, your MEV sort of things rewards that you get. That is generally what we assume as a address that the node operator controls. I think it's a pretty good assumption to know that. So we'll actually send the prize over to the fee recipient address that's actually on there. Now, specifically for Rocketpool operators, because their fee recipient is set to to either the smoothing pool or their own distribution contract, we have someone at Rocketpool that we're speaking to in which we can map the pub key of the validators and be able to determine their Rocketpool withdrawal address, and then we would send the prize there.
That's awesome. And when is this paid out? At the end of the program?
Yes, at the end of the program, we'll do another blog post. We'll do the analysis of the blocks, determine how many eligible validators there are, and after we make the blog post, we will start sending out the prizes.
Cool. So if you are a solo validator or a Rocketpool validator, and you join this program and only 9 other people join, and you propose a block in the next, how long did you say it runs?
5 months. So August 23rd is the last day. Yeah.
Okay. If you propose a block before August 23rd and only 10 other people join, you're getting a $2,000 block. So definitely join this program and deter your friends from joining. Cool. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in terms of this program?
I think, well, all of the information is basically on the blog post. At the very bottom, there are some resources for actually getting started with Lodestar. So there's some stuff that the community has developed, in which they're all linked there. We're almost on Rocketpool. We should be out in the next version. So for people using the Smart Node application, we'll be on there very, very soon. We're in talks with Joe to get that implemented, and same with DAppNode. You'll probably find us on the Goerli network for DAppNode, but we're almost there for mainnet. You can check out github.com/chainsafe/lodestar-quickstart, and that will take you to a repo that's specifically dedicated to our Lodestar quick start scripts. So we developed this pre-merge in which we needed an easy way to, just bootstrap our client with any of the other 4 execution clients. And those merge scripts sort of morphed into this quick start script now, in which you're able to just set and configure a couple parameters, like your fee recipient as an example, and then be able to use like a 1-line command to bootstrap a Docker image of the execution client of your choice, plus Lodestar beacon node and validator client. So this is like hopefully an easier way for people to get started with Lodestar. It's all in the blog post there, and we link to other resources as well that you can check out.
Awesome. And I know this is all public because we're on a blockchain, but are you guys going to be publishing any live data about how many people are in the program, how many people are proposing blocks with Lodestar?
No, so that's the fun of it. Nobody will know until the end of the 5 months. And we think that that's like a fun way to incentivize people to do it and not disincentivize people to say, hey, there's 400 people that are already eligible. I don't think it's worth it anymore.
Absolutely. Cool. Cool. Anybody else have any questions for Phil?
I think you covered it pretty well. Just the client thing was interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised, like, we're the first ones to do something like this, like to incentivize people to run a specific client. Obviously, we can't, it's much harder to do at a protocol level. So we had to get a little bit innovative to sort of make that little push to be like, hey, try this out.
I kind of feel, yeah. I kind of feel like part of the reason that it hasn't been done before is because it's been so difficult to accurately identify who's running which clients with a degree of accuracy that you want to give rewards to those to those clients or to those validators.
That too. There have been many discussions in the core dev protocol community about figuring out ways to incentivize people to run the minority clients, but there's no real sort of way to understand which client is being run. It's kind of like a large dark forest, and we don't want to gamify it, basically, right? So
yeah, I mean, there's a degree of positivity to gamification of good incentives. I would hope that something like this would spur a lot of innovation, because you guys are the first to do this, and we do need more incentives to decentralize rather than centralize the chain, because as we've seen, layer 0 has to work very hard to make sure that centralization risks are addressed, and we would hope that those things eventually get protocolized so that we're not tending towards centralization.
I have a question here. Who's providing the funds for this program?
We will be, as in ChainSafe.
All right, maybe we could try to up that amount in various ways. I don't know, like I'm just throwing this, but
I mean, yeah, depending on how this program grows and the success that you see, I wonder if you guys could then start some sort of like Gitcoin grant or something like that would be a general minority client incentive fund.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, this is completely an experiment on our part, and it's something that we're really interested to analyze, because it could be potentially used to help people switch over to also Nimbus and Teku, which might be very useful for us too. And of course, with all of the public goods funding out there right now, like there are definitely ways for other people to contribute to something like this. And perhaps if there is some good success with this, it's always an option for people to add their own funds to the pool or something like that.
Awesome. I am super looking forward to seeing how this program unfolds.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and or me, and yeah, it's always great to talk to you guys, and we always think about the EthStaker community first. It's always their baby, and we love, you know, contributing specifically to the decentralization of the validator set. So it mostly includes like you guys. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. Thank you.